A convicted killer who served his prison sentence ended up back behind bars less than a year after being released. Jacob Wideman served 30 years after killing his roommate at a camp when he was 16. He was granted parole in 2016, but an appointment mix-up led to his parole getting revoked, a decision he's been fighting in court ever since. Good evening and thanks for joining us. For 12 News at 10, I'm Mark Curtis.
And I'm Kariba Devine. Today, a judge issued a ruling on Wideman's argument after he first presented it in court back in August. 12 News journalist Bianca Bono was at that hearing over the summer, and she joins us live in studio. Bianca.
Well, guys, the judge had three options: release Wideman from prison, order a new parole board hearing for him to make his case again, or deny his request altogether.
This is not a game. This is his life.
That was Jacob Wideman's attorney pleading his client's case before a judge back in August, arguing Wideman's constitutional rights have been violated.
You should release him, and if you're not willing to do that, at a bare minimum, he needs to be given what the law demands he be given.
Wideman's case dates back to Flagstaff in 1986. When he was 16, he killed his 16-year-old camp roommate, Eric Kane. Wideman was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 25 years. 30 years behind bars later, that parole was granted. But in a matter of months, it would be revoked.
His parole officer had ordered him to make an appointment with a psychologist. Mr. Wideman called the psychologist twice, actually, but did not get a call back in time. And as a result, the state said that he had violated his parole.
Beth Schwartz-Apfel of the Marshall Project has been chronicling Wideman's case in her podcast called Violation. Due to the mix-up, in 2017, Wideman was sent back to prison, where he's remained ever since.
He's been in prison for 6 years. Because of that.
But attorneys for the state's parole board arguing Wideman had many opportunities to make the appointment.
How often Mr. Wideman delayed getting done what the the parole officer asked him to do suggests that he was avoiding complying and trying to manipulate the system.
After hearing both sides, the decision was left up to Judge Mark Brain. Now, 2 months later, the decision is in, and he's denied Wideman's request, effectively keeping him in prison.
I was surprised by a number of things. First and foremost, that the judge's decision seemed almost cursory. It was very short.
The judge writing the parole board had a basis for its ruling to revoke Wideman's probation. Though it may seem like it, this likely not the end of the 35-plus year road.
Wideman has a couple of options. His attorneys have indicated that they plan to appeal. The other option Wideman has, he could go before the board and begin asking for parole again.
And in a statement, Wideman's attorneys tell me they do in fact plan on appealing the judge's decision. Now, it's worth noting the victim's family did appear virtually during that August hearing. They've been fighting Wideman's release for years. Bianca Bono, 12 News.